Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. We are on the test server to check out the Fusion. It's Mad Hatter. He is going live. The Fusion begins probably today. Hopefully, I'm expecting there's going to be maybe 4 videos or something today. I hope you've enjoyed them. Again, give them a thumbs up. Do try to watch them if you like them. I don't know. I'm a bit worried about 4 videos in one day if we do publish that many. But hey, we'll see. There's news to cover. The news must be covered. Let's check him out. I want to cover him as soon as possible so you guys can decide if you are doing the fusion. Let me tell you right away, and I will explain why after. I think this guy has really exceeded my expectations in Hydra. From my testing, I went into it thinking he'd be good, and he blew me away, but I will break down why and how after we just look through his kit and how I built him, and then, yeah, I'll show you. So, here we go. Accuracy in all battles aura, 60. Pretty standard. Useful. A1, double hitter. Each hit, 25. Goes to 50% chance to steal a random buff. This is pretty cool. This is nice. I did try him a tiny bit against Chimera. I was finding him not too good, but, I mean, this is nice for Chimera. You can steal the increased speed that he buffs in ultimate form, which is kind of cool. Each hit also has a 75 going to 100% chance to do a debuff spread, taking one random debuff from the target and placing it on all enemies under Hex. Again, this is pretty sick, especially for a Hydra, right? It just makes your debuffs more consistent and spreading them around. Because it's not a pure debuff spread, you are reliant on Hex. It might be ideal to spread debuffs to a freshly spawned in head. That's not something you can actually do, though, unless you've placed the Hex on it. So there is a bit of a limitation there, but it's a nice A1. Now, his A2 is absolutely bonkers. 3-turn cooldown, AoE attack, 75 goes to 100% chance of placing Hex and Weaken on all enemies for 2 turns. And then this is such a strong ally attack. Ally with the highest crit damage will team up and join the attack. Ally joining the attack will use their default skill, and they'll do 10% more damage for each debuff on the target. Now, why is this so strong? Well, I mean, to give you a quick example, let's say, again, we won't look at this in too much detail because I couldn't get the team quite perfect, but if we look at this team, now, when Lady Mikage, this team does a full team ally attack, it's obviously doing good damage. We're also, we're getting good utility benefit. Nekmothar can put decreased attack. Python can heal. Ninja decreased defense. Mad Hatter can steal debuffs, right? She puts out a shield. Everyone's A1 has a little bit of utility, and that's nice. Well, Mad Hatter, he's only going to bring in Ninja. But in this composition, Ninja will hit so much harder than all of the others that his ally attack could potentially actually do more damage than hers, which is crazy. Now, obviously, in Hydra, you're going to have 6 people, so the ally attack, the full team one, is a little bit stronger again. But do not underestimate. That's my point is, don't underestimate this single person ally attack, especially because it has the boosted damage, right? When you invest into a super powerful damage dealer like a Ninja or a Toshiro, Harima, anything like that, this actually becomes quite a monster of a move. It's very good. And with a short cooldown, spoilers, you can see the sets, reducing that cooldown becomes incredibly effective, right? Teox does this on his A1. I don't have Teox. Do you have Teox? I don't know, right? He has more utility than Teox, but less frequent ally attacks. I mean, it's really worth considering. Now, his A3 is really good as well. A 3-turn cooldown, 20% turn meter boost, but increasing ally buffs and decreasing their debuffs by a turn. 3-turn buff extension is fantastic. So he's got that as well. I think the thing about him is that sort of everything is sort of spread out. It's all these sort of individual parts that don't necessarily all combine together into a clear, cohesive vision, but he's just doing loads of really good things sort of individually, and it really adds up. His passive, Time for Tea, every 10 turns by allies, heals everyone 20% max HP. Every 6 turns from enemies, True Fear. Cool. Cool. One thing, let me actually see if I can get the footage of it. Okay, here we go. Again, so this is footage from a Chimera run. Now, this went wrong because I forgot I'd swapped gear off of Elva. But check this out. What is crucial about this? I've gone off his kit, of course I have, but it's every 6 turns. Now, the Chimera transforms every 5 turns. And what that actually means, what ends up happening, is that he should line up the True Fear for the start of the Ram form, which is the form vulnerable to True Fear, every single time. I don't think it's super useful, but it does have an interesting effect. So let's watch right here what happens. So he swaps to Ram. Did you see it? You can see it right there. It popped up for a second and it disappeared because I wasn't quick enough. He puts True Fear on the Ram straight away, and that actually stopped the Ram from using his A3. So look at this. Now, this is on cooldown. He didn't do the move. We are still dead because Elva is targeted by Jewel, which is really bad. But yeah, that is a cool thing he can do. And he will do this at the start of the Ram form every time. Now, he will never fear the Ram again. And this won't help you do the trial. There is a trial to damage the Ram while he's under fear. Well, you never get to attack the Ram while he's under fear. But what this does do is interesting. It gives you a way to keep the Jewel target alive. It's quite difficult to keep someone alive for that first turn of Jewel because the boss has no debuffs and he's just going to slam you with the A3. I find it very difficult to keep people alive. This makes it gives you a pretty good chance to survive at least once. It's random. You know, he might still do his move, even though he is true feared. It's not going to happen every time. In fact, in most of the runs I did, he just attack anyway, you know? But sometimes it will stop that happening, and that can keep your Jewel person alive. Then you can get decreased attack on the boss, and then it's easy to keep them alive. And potentially, this might open you up to do the trial where you have to break the Jewel bar within 5 turns. I still think that's really hard, but it's worth noting that definitely his passive does work like this. I didn't find it to be super useful, but it does work like that. So there you go. But this will also be really good in wave-based content for crowd control. And it's just doing a lot of healing as well for your team. It's quite good. So that's his kit. How did I build him? Let's look at his build. So, Mad Hatter. His build. I think you could definitely go like 9-piece Feral. He's doing Hex Weaken, AoE. It's not bad. But his moves are actually so strong. I think you're well worth going for 4-piece Merciless if you can, for that 30% chance to decrease a skill cooldown. And 4-set Reflex is, I think, even better. The 40% chance to reduce a skill cooldown by 1 turn. I've complemented that with 1 piece of Pinpoint for the accuracy. But the goal with this is to get him just casting his A2 and A3 as much as possible. It's going to be tons of buff extension, tons of turn meter, and more importantly, very consistent Hex and Weaken, and more of these supercharged ally attacks. Very strong. Very, very strong. So for the stats, I've gone for him. I've tried to get as much speed as I can. I've tried to get 400 accuracy for Nightmare Hydra. Obviously, with area bonuses, you could go for less. But there you are. As much speed as possible. And then I've tried to give him some survivability. So I think it doesn't matter too much. It's healing allies for their max HP. Now, his damage scales off HP, but yeah, his base stats are actually fantastic, right? It's quite easy to build him in these more niche sets that aren't giving you very useful stats for him because he's got crazy base HP. He's got decent base defense, great base speed. It's easy enough to get good stats. And there's always the opportunity to potentially get a soul for him. If I was to give him a soul, I think Cruelty is a fine option for Hydra, which I think is his main area. I also think for my team, I'd probably put him in Harmonic Impulse because I'm not super protecting him from fears in my team. I think that would be great. Especially, I'll tell you right now, if they give us a chance to get a 5-star soul, I'm probably going to go for it for this, right? Because it will just refresh his skill. And then he just keep spamming his skills. Pretty good. Pretty good. For his masteries, I've gone like this. Again, because he's going to be in Hydra, I think War Master for that. And then over here, there's not too much that's that good over here because he doesn't have any buffs really, but I think this is fine. You could absolutely give him Eagle Eye. You could absolutely give him Oppressor as well. I think both of those could work and be totally legit. So yeah, I think there's definitely going to be flexibility in terms of how you build him. Now, why am I saying that he is so good? Let me explain this to you. This is a multi-step process because at first glance, this isn't going to sound too crazy, but it will when I explain it. Now, when I did my initial reaction to Mad Hatter, I said that I would try him in this Nightmare Hydra team, and I did. Now, this Nightmare Hydra team, for me, the record has been 690 million damage on Nightmare. You can see the idea of this team, how it works. It's a Mikage plus Ninja team. Krisk is provoking. He also brings us increased speed for everyone except himself, and decreased speed, AoE, as well, and he's helping us to stay alive. Ninja is actually the decreased defense champ. He's pretty consistent, though, because Mikage A1, he's quite good, and Krisk is a backup decrease defense when they hit us AoE. We've Weaken from Varl, and he's doing damage. We've got Lazarius in as our support, our block buffs, our increase attack champ for Varl and Ninja, though he also Mikage's doing that too. And he's a reviver. He's sort of like Uko, but good for Hydra. Sorry, Uko. And then Androck, we've got Androck in 9 pieces of protection, because Androck, he's a mythical champion, guys. In case you didn't know from the red border. Very helpful, I know. But Androck, he just stays in Form 1. He puts out tons of buffs, gives us tons of turn meter, and with the protection set, it's a really big damage boost. It's a great team. 690 million damage on Nightmare. I put Mad Hatter in. I said, okay, what if we put Mad Hatter in? Oh, and Androck's also extending buffs. That's very important. Adding Mad Hatter to this team, so we keep the Mikage, Krisk, Ninja core, and Lazarius core. We keep that core. We could even move Lazarius into the lead, except I need the accuracy for Ninja. Still. Mad Hatter brings us the Weaken. Now, because he's also bringing us AoE Hex, in this version of the team, Krisk is in Cursed set, and he's pretty good at Hex, while Mad Hatter is going to be more consistent. So there we go. And because Mad Hatter's in Cursed, we can then switch Krisk into Feral for more debuffs and more damage. Great. So now we've got a Feral, 9-piece Feral Krisk, Mad Hatter for AoE Hex and Weaken, ally attacks. Because he's also extending our buffs and healing us, that's what Androck does. Androck's in for extending buffs and healing. So he's sort of replacing Varl and Androck. And then, well, we've got the Weaken covered, we've got healing and buff extension covered. We can just go for someone with pure raw damage, and there's few champions better than that at Nightmare Hydra than Marius. So we can bring in Marius for damage. Now, one thing I actually did to preserve our turn, I actually turned off his A3. I don't need increase accuracy or defense. We can't stun him. Maybe the extra turns would be worth it, but I left them off. And these are the presets. Pretty straightforward stuff. Okay. Now, you understand how the team works. 690 million damage. How much damage did this do? This won't sound impressive at first, but let me explain. 706.65 million. So a new record. A new record. Slightly better, but not by much. Now, let me break it down. Multi-step process. Are you ready? So step number 1 is pretty simply, look, Varl and Androck are both exceptionally good Hydra champions. They're well renowned for being top tier. Marius is also top tier. Mad Hatter, at the very least, I think he comes into that top tier equation as well. He's bringing so much utility. Healing, the healing, the buff extension, ally attack, all that stuff is great. So just at a default, he's clearly doing really well. But this is deceptive. Now, but why is it deceptive? Well, hang on. Let me get you up something. Because when did I get this record for Hydra? When did I get the 690 million? Well, this has a big impact. I got it on rotation 4 of Hydra. And on rotation 4 of Hydra, there's only one Force Affinity head. This matters because Ninja in this team is clearly kind of the main source of damage. On the test server, I don't remember what rotation this is, but we have 3 Force Affinity heads. This is a big nerf to the team. So there we go. Number 1, we've done more damage than the team on a worse rotation. So the stats are actually better than they look. Now, there's also another factor, which is not obvious to you, and it wasn't obvious to me until I checked, but my Ninja, when I got 690 million, had a relic. He has no relic on the test server, just didn't copy over. He had a very good relic. He had a very good relic. He had the Arethi Coronet, which is giving him 30% more damage. Okay. So with 690 million damage, we, number 1, had a better rotation. We had pretty much a straight up 30% damage boost for Ninja. Suddenly, this becomes much more impressive. And in fact, if I get the other screenshot, so I ran this team. I said, okay, well, what if I do run this original team on the correct rotation and without the relic? Well, what does it come out as? And let me get, I think, this one. I got the right picture. Or did I open? There we go. 562 million. And look, everyone's alive. We got to the turn limit. There we are. Now, that is putting it more in context. So it's not actually 690 million upgrading to 706. It's actually 560 million upgrading to 706. It's a huge upgrade. Now, obviously, Marius is adding a ton of damage, but the reason we're able to bring Marius in is that Mad Hatter has so much utility in his kit, he is replacing the utility effectively of two different champions, of Varl and of Androck, which is insane. He is competing with a mythical, I think, really, in terms of his utility. It is incredible. So yeah, needless to say, I'm extremely impressed. I think he's brilliant. We'll jump in. Let's take a little bit of a look at this run. But yeah, long story short for me, will I be using Mad Hatter? Yes, I absolutely will. So we're going to priority 1 on, here he goes. And there's the ally attack. One thing that's interesting, it seems on auto, they've definitely changed this, I'm pretty sure. It seems to me on auto now that they do not target decapitated heads. I don't know if this is the case in the live game. I've not looked at my Hydra runs in a long time. But it seems like ally attacks are going to target living heads now to try to maximize the ally attack value, which is a good thing for Mad Hatter. He's not going to try ally attack a decapitated head and not do much damage. This team does take a little while to get running, but there he is. He's in again with the ally attack. Looks like we got a weak hit there, slightly unlucky. Ninja's going to start killing some stuff. It takes a little bit of time for this to ramp up, for Ninja to ramp up his stats, and so on and so forth. And Krisk is going to be pretty bad at provoking stuff, etc. You can see we're a bit vulnerable to fear. Mad Hatter just missed his turn because of fear. So I would be... oh, there. Never mind. There, he totally did. He just ally attacked that for 2 million. Okay, and now the damage is starting to ramp up a little bit. You can see poor old Ninja weak hitting all the Force Affinity stuff, though. It's a little bit tragic, but hey, that's life. And this is where you can see Mad Hatter's buff extension starts to get really good. Now, we've got 3 buff extenders on this team, but we can see Krisk is, from this point on, like a minute into the run, there's the decrease, sorry, there's the AoE weaken and the Hex. From this point on in the run, with so much buff extension, Krisk is pretty much going to be, I think, full buffs for almost the whole time here, which is going to really make things consistent. Yeah, you'll see Mad Hatter. He's going to be cleansing these fears sometimes. He's going to be spreading debuffs sometimes. He's going to be cleansing, extending buffs. He's going to be doing a lot of really useful stuff. So yeah, again, like Krisk is feared. Oh, never mind, he's going in with the AoE. So this is definitely like, because I got him to priority 1, his A2. He will get himself true feared and then he'll miss his A3. That's where having Veil, or like I think that blessing, could really, really help us out. Yeah, so like he missed his turn right there. Luckily, Krisk still got his turn even despite being feared. But yeah, I think that blessing will actually be kind of sick. But this is sort of the core idea of how this team works. The run is full auto. He just has so much utility, guys. You'll see every few turns we're taking, we are getting those little bits of heals as well. I don't know if we've been paying too much attention to it. Can't debuff spread anything right now because we don't have any hexes out there. I think he combos very well with Mikage, by the way, because of that debuff spread A1. I think it's quite a nice little combo. Here he goes in. He's doing this ally attack. You see right there, he ally attacked onto Head of Suffering, not onto this head, which is bad for Ninja. But yeah, it's just definitely something that's worth noting, guys. The ally attack, the AI is definitely kind of funky. There we go. Here, he's extending our buffs. Everyone's got so many buffs. Unlimited buffs. I've not noticed the heals. Let's watch for the heals. How much is he going to heal? Should, again, heal for a few thousand for everybody. But yeah, from what I've seen, he has absolutely no trouble in keeping people alive. There we go. I just saw like 14,000k heal proc on him, which I think was from that move. We'll see. Will he ally attack the... Oh, well, we actually don't get to see, unfortunate, because that's sad. He tried to do the ally attack, but of course, Marius is an AoE A1, so we'll never get to see will it actually target the right thing. Looks like this run we're actually getting some bad RNG, and it's not going so good for us, but it all evens out in the end. But there you go. Look, it's simple enough. I mean, what's there to break down? I think he's top tier for Hydra, right? You've got so much in this. This ally attack can be really powerful. Like I said, this is a terrible rotation. It's a really bad one. Yeah, I think you could also potentially run Affinity Breaker on him as a gear set. Could be kind of fun as well. Just, the thing is, I think the only real issue is if you do have a Spirit Affinity Head of Mischief, maybe then you could run Affinity Breaker just to make his Hex a bit more consistent, but it's not a huge deal. If you miss Hex or Weaken, it's not really the end of the world, and everything else he does is really good. So we sort of want to, like I said, he's such a weird champ. Even if he's bad Affinity, half of the stuff he's doing still works anyway. I guess we'll give him a little bit of a spin in Arena. Let's give it a go just for fun, just because we can. Why not? Let me set up an Arena team. We'll go in against this first team. Oh, this looks pretty bad. We'll see if it works. Let's find out. Let's give it a go. All right, let's go. We're going for a bit of a weird team, bit of an experimental sort of. Well, obviously, very, very good champions, but I don't know if it's going to work. The theory is we will strip the buffs, hopefully, with him, and then Mad Hatter can set up Marius. I don't know. We might speed tune it a little bit. We could make Mad Hatter one speed slower. I don't know. I'm a bit worried he might just die. This is the downside. I think for building him for Hydra with the Merciless accessories, he's going to be, well, really squishy, to be honest. We'll see. We're actually faster than them. I've got a speed booster. Got her built for speed, which I don't know how useful it's going to be. Somewhat, hopefully. It will at least stop the stuns, which is nice. Actually quite nice. I mean, he's actually killed some of them, which is great. Never mind. Marius has actually gone first, I guess, because of speed manipulation. We're getting smacked. Oh, she got killed. Oh, Mad Hatter, he's dead. the Hatter is dead. She's high resistance. Oh, he's still enfeebled. Marius is killing everybody. Well, Mad Hatter clearly won this fight for us, eh? Couldn't have done it without him. What an MVP. Yes, thanks, Mad Hatter. We'll revive him in a second. Never mind, we won anyway. Again, couldn't have done it without him. Let's go again. Who knows? Well, I think he's a bit weird to fit into an arena team. He's definitely a bit weird. Right, we'll speed boost. Here we go. They are going to try to strip our buffs. Well, not try, they will strip our buffs. Oh, God, I was going to say we'll strip his. Well, we will strip his, but he's got, like, super protection on. This is where the old Hatter is a bit weaker, but this is kind of nice. He can actually cleanse the sleep and turn meter boost our Marius. Let's see if we can at least do some damage. Oh, man, they are rather tanky, and we are going to be in some trouble. Oh, he survived, and I think Freya would have actually protected him. Get a big old Freya shield on. Don't mind if I do. Could actually transform and nuke him. Or, you know, let's try his ally attack. I'm curious to see how this is going to work. Right. Well, we obviously can't place the Hex, but we can trigger an ally attack. Decent, right? Little ally attack. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, I don't mind if I do. He's going to revive him, but we'll go in with another A1. Hey, the Mad Hatter, he's doing some work here. The cleanse, the turn meter boost, getting the horse to his first turn. Not too shabby. He's back again. Give us more turn meter. Extend those buffs even more. All those nice Freya buffs. Like, we are just not dropping these buffs. We'll turn meter boost with her again. Hatter should have a go in a second. Let's see if we can strip some of these buffs. He's getting, I would say, fairly lucky. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. We could steal buffs. I mean, let's try steal that continuous heal. It's not super useful. It's a bit of a pity he's in protection set, but hey, it's working. We'll stun her, and we'll nuke. And the Hatter, he's doing some work. I'll be honest. He's doing some work here. Pop. Finish them off with an ally attack, why don't we? Ally attack, thank you very much. Yo, Marius plus Mad Hatter takes him down. Ooh, Boozor's got Mad Hatter with Lockout. That's a little scary. Let's see. Maybe Freya's faster? Unlikely, but we can hope. Freya, be fast. Oh, Freya, still... Okay, Freya's... Well, let's see. He doesn't have... He's got a little bit. He doesn't have a lot. He has a little bit of block debuffs here. I mean, I'm just going to slam him. We're going for the win. Okay. I want to see him fear. We didn't see him do any fears in that last fight or the first fight. But he can steal the increased attack. Oh, never mind. Didn't work. He worked for him. He stole it. Oh, look at that. We're all feared. His Hatter fearing us. You know, he's better than I kind of expected. Kind of better. Let's give him a blessing as well. I saw Boozor had a blessing. Sure. Let's boost this guy. I will give him just the Hydra blessing, though. Like I said, for me, I'm going to run in with Harmonic Impulse. Just, yeah. He misses a turn from fear. I mean, it will work well against enemy Mad Hatters. Let's try this one. This is a pretty scary team. I don't know. Let's find out. Sure, why not? Do they have any polymorph? They got only one polymorph. Oh shit. His Arman's is faster. Okay, this is very bad. Maybe he'll fear this guy. He's taking lots of turns. There we go. He triggered the fear, but he had pinpoint set. But we did trigger one fear. Oh my god, the enfeebles are popping off. I don't know exactly what's happening, but we'll take it. Marius is really popping off. Are we getting any heals? Are we getting any fears? He's taken so many turns. Surely we're due a turn. Eventually. Okay, he got saved. That's good. We just got saved. Absolutely. I think Hatter's actually helping us pretty well here. I think Hatter's been doing a great job, to be honest. She missed her turn because of fear. That's a bummer. Hatter, no! Oh, he's dead. That's sad. He was keeping us in this fight. Oh, give us a turn. Don't get stunned. Give him a nuke. Oh, we're still in the fight, guys. We're still in it. In it to win it. Sure. We actually survived. I actually think Hatter kept us going there pretty surprisingly well. I'm shocked. I am actually kind of shocked by that. I think I'll actually put the shield on. I just don't want them to do too much damage. We're going to wear them down. I think we're going to get back into this. There he is. Return of the Hat. The Hat is back. We can just A1 with her. Yo, I've got my throw it together random team is freaking kicking ass. It is kicking ass. Let's just steal the continuous heal. He resisted. Oh, there's a nice heal. Yep. Okay. We'll take ourselves a nice heal. I won't say no. I'm actually going to boost with her. We'll pop there. I wonder when his true fear is going to come out. I wonder. Okay, we'll reapply her shield. That's perfect, because now I'm going to extend those. Great, now we've got lots of shields. Lots of everything. I'm loving it. A1, I was hoping that would kill her. The Soul Reap secured it. Okay, I dig it, I dig it. Maybe she'll provoke. She didn't, but she did good damage. Freya pretty strong. There we go. He tried to push our turn meter back. Hatter, finish him. Finish him with the ally attack. I tell you what, guys. I mean, that was actually kind of sick. You know, he's a hell of a lot better than I expected. A hell of a lot better. I mean, when we try it here, again, my sort of worry is that we're just getting locked out, right? But, I mean, his passive still works. That's the nice thing. His passive still doing work even when you're locked out, which is honestly kind of cool. He doesn't have any buff strips, so at least this will protect us from debuffs. Oh, we do get a turn. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to boost up. Do I want to boost up again, or do I want to... I mean, it doesn't matter who we target, does it? Does he have any polymorph? So now we've got a choice. I could either boost up, extend our buffs, or I could go for the AoE, ally attack. Again, we'll choose her, but Marius is just going to pop off because he's Marius, right? Let's just pop off because he's Marius. They're a very nice combo. They are a very nice combo. And then the Freya ally attacks as well. It's quite juicy. See if we can kill her before she locks us out. It would be nice. Freya might counterattack. He's not careful. Oh, she opened with the A2. Bit confused. Not sure what happened. Can he steal some buffs? No, he weak hit. That's a slight bummer. Freya's doing decent damage, though. This is support Freya, guys. She's actually super good. We could swap, obviously, over into our other form, but I kind of want to keep going here. Oh, I see a slight problem. We do have all of the Marius deflecting all the debuffs onto himself. If only we had a champion who could cleanse. I think he can cleanse. I've not been paying attention. I guess the true fears are getting reflected onto us, huh? Let's see if we can steal her block debuffs. No, we stole her continuous heal, though. I mean, that's something. Let's definitely cleanse off the debuffs from poor old Marius. Nuke them again. Marius, hold on. Freya couldn't save you. I guess she procced it already. That's okay, though. We'll strip his buffs. Revive. Excellent. Okay. Shield up. Shield up, number one. True Fear's gone out. Let's go. Do I want to ally attack? Yeah, I do actually want to ally attack with Hex. I would love to. That would be great, actually. Stun him. Oh, he resisted. Kill him with an A1. Oh, man. I tell you, he's actually so much better than this guy. This guy. He's way better than I expected. I tell you what, man. I honestly think this champion is bizarre. You know, this champion, I love the creepy eye man as well. This champion is weird, dude. He is weird. I don't get it, right? I went into the Hydra testing and I was like, hey, he'd probably be pretty good. And then I was like, wait, this is actually insane. He combos extremely well with Marius, I have to say. Really, really well. He's a great Marius partner. Yeah. Like, he's obviously amazing for Hydra. There's no question. I don't really understand how he's doing so well in Arena, but he's good. He is good. Like, the ally attack is actually quite good. Per meter boost with the little cleanse, the little buff. Actually good. The stealing a buff is actually good. His passive is really good, surprisingly so. He's just so... This champion just ends up being better than I expect everywhere I try him. Bizarre. That's enough for this showcase. You guys get the gist. It's Mad Hatter. Needless to say, the purpose of this video, of all of these Fusion showcase videos, is always to answer the simple question, is it worth going for this Fusion? I think for most players, the answer is absolutely yes. I think, unless you just don't care about Hydra, but like, why would you not? You might as well try to get your best Hydra key. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make it into one of your Hydra teams. Like, really surprised. I think he's super good. Arguably, he's a top tier weekend champion, and you really want that debuff for Hydra. I think he's top tier for Hydra, straight up. I think he's ridiculously good. And he's actually surprisingly good for Arena. He's going to be phenomenal for Faction Wars, Cursed City, any of that stuff as well. I think he, in my opinion, he's I'm fusing him 100%. No questions asked. Done. Job done. Can't wait to use him. Apparently, I might use him in Arena. Who knew? And also, I'm digging the support Freya build. That was really good as well. If anyone has Freya, I just put her in like my Arbiter gear, actually. And she was great. 388 speed, only like 3.7k defense, but it was enough. And bit accuracy, bit of crit rate. And I don't know, the support Freya was slamming it. We could probably improve her build some. Kind of this Gilded Dragonstone. I did have a ignores resist when placing provokes. Kind of good for her. She's worth considering, guys. Support Freya. Underrated. Guys, thanks for watching. That was a mad time. See you next time. Goodbye.